Hey guys, so welcome back. This is our second video. We are Dan and Sarah, and we are seeking tiki. And if we didn't say in the last video, we are traveling full-time in our 2021 Airstream Bambi 16FB. And in this video, we are leaving off in Houston, Texas.
Right, heading out. So we are leaving Texas. We didn't stop in Houston this particular trip, but we did, well, Dan did navigate his way through some pretty intense Houston rush hour traffic. So kudos to Dan for that. Heading out on our way to New Orleans, Louisiana. So driving in New Orleans was actually a really beautiful and interesting drive. Heading from Houston all the way to New Orleans, saw some pretty cool things. We were a little uncertain about the RV park in New Orleans. It was kind of near the airport. We weren't familiar with the neighborhood. It actually turned out to be really cool.
Yes, it is the KOA Journey in New Orleans.
Went to an incredible restaurant near there. I wish I could remember the name.
And Sarah actually had oysters for the first time.
Right, my first oyster, believe it or not. And it was amazing. I wouldn't have wanted to have my first oyster anywhere else.
Right now, here we are. We hung out with our friend Nate because Sarah has always wanted to see a real-life alligator.
My good friend Nate, who is a New Orleans local, was generous enough to take us out on an alligator hunt. And by a hunt, I mean a hike through the local park. I believe it's a state park. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce it, but you can see it on the sign.
So we actually saw more than alligators. We saw a few alligators, and we also saw a snake.
We saw a snake, we saw a tortoise, we heard some very disgruntled warthogs. We saw about 4 different alligators. I was really frightened. I thought we would be suspended on a bridge above the park. Turns out that's not the case. What were we doing?
We were just walking on the trail, and Sarah saw a snake actually dangling from the tree about 5 feet from her head.
No, it wasn't 5 feet. It was about 5 inches from my head. And walking along, Nate let me know that that snake was extremely poisonous and to step back slowly and not threaten it. That really reminded me that we were in nature. Respect nature.
So after our nature and creature hike, we drove around and Nate showed us the rest of New Orleans, and we got some food and just explored.
Yeah, he was a real trooper. He drove us around probably for 5 hours that day, took us everywhere, took us to some really cool places, local places we never would have found. A super cool British pub. He was teaching Dan a few things about...
Yes, his camera gear and what he uses.
Yeah, so he's a professional photographer, so it's advice that we listen to.
Yes, thank you, Nate. then after our day with Nate, we actually saw another friend, Rochelle.
Hey Rochelle, thanks for meeting up. Another local friend. So she took me out to a couple of really cool wine bars, cool spots. It was really cool to catch up, and we had a great time just rocking like a local.
And one of them actually had an Airstream food truck, which is super cool.
We loved it.
So here we are. We are actually on our way now farther east, back on the 10 to Biloxi, Mississippi. But we got stuck in a huge hazmat traffic jam on the 10 that we actually sat standing still for about 3 hours. So we actually saw a billboard for this casino that said they had an RV park.
We still don't know what the hazmat incident officially was, so if we have a tale in the next video, you'll know, I guess. But Dan did see a billboard for the
Hollywood Resort and Casino.
Seems legit. So we stopped. We had never been to Mississippi before, so we had no idea what to expect, but specifically this spot in Bay St. Louis was actually really cool, and we had a really good time. That's the beauty of RVing, I think, is had we had a hotel reservation in a certain city, we just would have had to endure the hazmat traffic and just show up really late. But we had the freedom to just say, hey, we're tired, let's stop now, and here's somewhere local, and the local spot was awesome. So we had a great time. I would totally go back. So check it out if you're there. Hollywood
Resort and Casino.
Resort and Casino RV Park, Bay St. Louis, Mississippi.
And they actually had a really cool lazy river. They had a really good restaurant. So we hung out there for one night before we continued on our way.
So I did ask Dan to make me some late night shake and pour. If you haven't had it, try it. It's delicious instant pancakes, better than Bisquick. So here we are, actually officially now in Biloxi, Mississippi. So we didn't have the pleasure of stopping and staying a night there, but we did get to stop for a quick photo op. Beautiful spot, seemed like a really fun town. We definitely look forward to going back and staying there for a few days at some point. We didn't get to do that on this trip, unfortunately.
So after we got to Biloxi, Mississippi and to stop, we are going to go through Mobile, Alabama on our way to Gulf Shores, Alabama.
We are. And once again, our original plan wasn't actually to stay in Gulf Shores. I think Dan picked it and just said, seems like a cool beach town. So again, that's one of those, we had planned to drive to a certain place. I don't even remember where it was. We were tired, we just wanted a cool beach town, and he's like, this is on the beach, let's try it. We didn't know anything about the city. We actually pulled in. We found a really cool RV park. It was super nice and walking distance from the beach.
Yeah, it was a great RV park. They have a little walking bridge that goes right from the RV park to the main street on the beach where all the cool restaurants and stuff are.
This is a quick reminder to close your cupboards or you will have puppy kibble all over your floor, which the dogs love, the humans don't love.
So here we are, just hanging out in Gulf Shores. Went to this cool place here where they're doing some kind of karaoke night.
I really didn't know what to expect with Gulf Shores. I had no idea. I didn't know if it was some sleepy town that time forgot. It was not that. It was a party town.
It was.
It was pretty wild.
I got friends in low places where the whiskey rounds and the beer chases my blues away.
Yeah, it was super cool, and it was actually it had a ton of people, really great nightlife, and since then we've talked to probably dozens of people who basically let us know that they or someone they know vacations there regularly. So a lot of northern Alabama and a lot of the surrounding areas, apparently Gulf Shores is their to-go spot.
So right now I'm doing one of our first mods on the Airstream, and right there, that is the bathroom window in our Airstream 16-foot Bambi. And the window is clear. There's a little shade, but it's not that great. So I'm installing some frosted window film on it so we can have the window up and still allow some light in, but still have some privacy. So, finally, after leaving Gulf Shores, Alabama, we were there for a few nights. We are now going to get back on the 10 yet again. And I think in the next video, we will actually be in Florida, which is one place that we actually really wanted to go there. And that is kind of this first part, or first season, I guess, of these videos, getting to Florida.
Florida was a real bucket list location.
Yes. So we will see you on the road.
On the road.